So what we want to do now is we want to evaluate these inverse sine functions. And what I've written over here, again, was the restricted domain and range of our arc sine or our sine inverse, okay? And this is very, very, very important that we know this, and you're going to find out right now. So let's look at our first example right here. So if possible, find the exact value. So we want to find the arc sine of -1/2. Okay, so what's up with this arc sine? What's the reason for even writing it as arc sine? Well, the reason why that we can also write sine inverse as arc sine is because of what it means. Okay, let me just show you what this is actually like asking you to find. What this means is they're asking you what is the sine of some angle that's equal to -1/2. Now, notice how I used y, okay? Because if you come over here to our range values, notice that the y values are the angle. So the sine of what angle is -1/2? Or the same way as saying the sine of what arc is -1/2. So that's where this comes from. So arc, you know, because if you look at a circle, right? And if you have an arc that looks like this right here, isn't this arc the same as this angle right here? And that's what this means. So when you say the sine of what arc or the sine of what angle equals -1/2, that's where we get the whole arc from. So that's what we're asking, okay? So in this problem, arc sine of -1/2 means the sine of what angle is -1/2. Notice how I didn't say sine of x, because look, these are no longer the x values are no longer our angle values. Those are our output or our numbers. So the sine of what number is -1/2? Well, since you guys all know our unit circle, wouldn't you say that y would be equal to -π/6? Right? If you look at a unit circle, sine of -π/6, right? Sine of -π/6 is -1/2. And there we go. So the answer is -π/6. Now, the reason why that this is important is that this right here has to be within the interval of -π/2 and π/2. Okay? And you're going to find out some examples later on that you can find an answer. However, it won't be in the interval. And if it's not within the interval, then it's not true. So you need to verify or make sure that whatever value you get here, it has to be within this interval. And obviously, -π/6 is within the interval of -π/2 and π/2. Okay? So with this guy, arc sine, or the inverse of sine of negative, or square root of 3/2. Well, that's the same thing as saying the sine of what angle is square root of 3/2. Well, since you guys are all whippersnatchers at your unit circle, you should be like, oh, well, that's just going to be π/3. Oh, no. And π/3 is an element of -π/2 and π/2. So we're done then. We know that. I'm just verifying right here that π/3 is within the element or is within the interval of -π/2 and π/2. So that's the answer right there, π/3. Okay. And last but not least, the inverse of sine inverse of 2. Okay. So what this is asking us is the sine of what value or of what angle is 2. But what's the problem? Think about it. These values have to be within -π/2 and π/2, and this has to be within what interval? Ah, you are tricking me. Ah, very good. See, 2 is not within the interval of -1 and 1. So this one right here is a no. Or I guess a little more appropriately, like you would just say, not possible. Okay. So these values right here that I'm circling right now always have to be within our domain and the y values have to be within the range. And those are 3 examples right there.